Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at GLMR. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. And if you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one so that you have more context. It's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into the TA. So jumping into the daily chart, this is the Binance chart pulled on TradingView. As you can see, we have a major Fibonacci retracement, which is the teal one, and we have the multicolored one, which is the smaller one. So the one that's larger is having a swing high here in April. The swing low is all the way back in February. And we are targeting our 2.272 Fibonacci retracement as of right now at 39 cents, and our next level is the 2.414 at 32.71. So basically 39 and 33 cents are your two major support levels moving forward. Zooming in a little bit more into the smaller Fibonacci, and here you can see that I have a swing high that we printed in July and the swing low that we printed in the middle of July. From there, we have seen a move to the downside all the way here to the 1.618. So we have reached our technical target with the retracement that started after we printed the high in July. And as you can see, we lost the low here at 54 cents. And you kind of had a move to the upside here. You retested the 786 as resistance. You came back down, retested the first fib level as resistance, 55 cents, and then you came back down to the 1.618, which is our technical target. So I talked about this multiple times. I gave you all of these buy zones multiple times in the previous months, and if you entered from here, great. There is a possibility we may go even lower on November 10th because that's when we're going to be getting the inflation data coming in. And if it's going to be more than or higher than expected, we could see another dip in crypto since the sentiment is turning to more of a bearish one short term. And yeah, if we have inflation higher, we're probably going to see a nice dip in crypto. I'm going to be ready to buy that one just as I was ready buying this one. And potentially you would see a move all the way down to 35 cents. So have your buy orders somewhere in this area. We could obviously drop in another Fibonacci retracement if that's what you want to do. We can take this high in November and we can take the local low here in the middle of October, and you have your 1.618 at 35 cents here. So that would be our next target. As you can see, we have a support trend line here at 43 cents that we're holding right now very nicely. You had one bounce here at the end of September, one bounce here in the middle of October, and another bounce here coming at the beginning of November. And yeah, as you can see, we had a wick down. From that wick, if you bought off of the 1.618, you're up 5%, around 5% right now. But at these prices, this is where I'm actually starting to consider entering GLMR and just send all of the tokens into the Nova wallet to stake for long term. This is where I would be entering. Now, I'm going to wait for the November 10th inflation data. So if that comes out higher than expected and we actually do dump, I'm going to be picking up some GLMR, and obviously all of the buy alerts are going to be on my Patreon. So link is in the description. And as you can see, what we did here, which is very important, what we did here in November at the start of the month, you can see that we ran into the second fib level of the larger Fibonacci retracement. So if I zoom out and I remove the smaller fib, you can see that you ran into the second fib level just like you did here in October and just like you did here at the beginning of October. And this was a very, very nice swing trade opportunity for anyone who saw this coming, because we got a bit overextended from the 20 EMA, right? And right now you are down 20%. So this is a very nice swing trade. I did swing trade multiple tokens with my patrons. It was a really, really interesting day to say the least. So jumping into the daily chart on the RSI, you can see that we're back below the yellow resistance trend line. Now it's flipped to resistance, obviously, and you know what to do. You know what to do. You've been on the channel for long enough to know what to do. You just target the lower support. We have a touch here in May, a touch in June, another touch in September. Potentially, we're looking for another bounce in November, and that is going to be an incredible entry point for GLMR. And I'm going to be eyeballing this as well because this is actually where I might start entering GLMR. And since the all-time high prices here, if I zoom out, we're down 97%. And yeah, this is where I would actually be entering. So I do want to switch over to the Binance website. And before we continue the video, I quickly want to mention my Patreon. Now, if you like the channel and you like the content that I provide for you on this channel, then feel free to check my Patreon out for more exclusive content like low cap gem calls, my buy alerts, my sell alerts. I do take a look at your technical analysis requests, at your video requests. As you can see, there are multiple tiers which you can choose from. And if you want to support the channel, then this is the best way to do so. As you can see, I do post quite frequently. I have almost 1,000 posts, I think there, or getting closer to 1,000 anyway. And I did start my Patreon a year ago. So yeah, let's get back to the video. All right, taking a look at the daily chart on the Binance website, you can see that we were in this falling wedge pattern here, and you started breaking out, and you actually are coming back down, and potentially you are looking for a back test of support off of the teal trend line. So if I extend this over here, just like this, as you can see, so you may actually retest this trend line because you broke above it here in October and you've never seen the back test of support. And that's exactly what we may see. So be on the lookout for a bounce off of the teal trend line. If I just remove the drawings here real quick. Also, a very important support level that we're holding is obviously this 43 cents level that I highlighted in the previous chart, but this is something that you want to keep an eye on. Potentially from here, we may see a bounce to the upside. The last time we had a move to the upside off of that trend line, we saw a 27% move. So we might see another 27% move here off of this trend line. Potentially the inflation data isn't going to come in higher than expected. It might come in lower than expected. In that case, we could see some sort of a relief rally. Maybe you could even target this 60 cents area here. So that would be a very nice 40% trade, right? If you want to swing trade this. So off of the yellow trend line all the way to 60 cents, that's a 40% trade. And why is that a resistance level, you ask? Well, because that's where you ran into that level in September. You hold that level as support, or you held that level as support in August, and you had another wick here and another wick here in June and July. So these touches show that this is a valid level and we need to be paying attention to it. Okay, and I do want to switch over to the weekly chart as well, just to see what's going on there. Actually, I do forget that we don't have the indicators on the weekly charts because there is not enough data for us to see. Now, the stochastic on the daily here, as you can see, we are on our way to the downside. So if you want to wait a bit more, you can wait until it comes down below the index of 20. At that point, you can start dollar cost averaging into GLMR. But based on the price action right now, this is a very, very good entry point. So if you want to dollar cost average a bit now and wait until November 10th to put in the rest of the money, that also could work, because there is a possibility that we may go lower on November 10th. And like I said, target the teal trend line here for entries. We may bounce off of that with a nice little wick and then a V-shaped recovery to the upside. So yeah, that's pretty much it regarding GLMR. Obviously, Bitcoin is going down. If we see a capitulation to $12,000, GLMR can absolutely, come down to 30 cents, 20 cents. No one knows where the bottom would be. But if you have your buy limit order set up in advance, your orders are going to get filled, because a lot of exchanges, from what I have been told, halted trading, so you weren't able to set up any buy alerts and sell alerts. So I'm not sure if you had your alerts or did I say alerts? Your buy orders set up in advance. I'm not sure if they would have filled if the exchange halted the trades or the trading. Let me know if that happened to you today, because some people were telling me that they couldn't trade on Binance. It was very glitchy, very laggy. Some exchanges had official statements on Twitter where they said that they are pausing trading. So during these capitulations, exchanges don't want you to buy the lows, because the market makers are getting in, all the big boys are getting in at those prices, and that's typically where you have to be selling to them, right? That's the idea. So you sell to them, they buy off of that, and then they go into the bull market with your Bitcoin. But that's not what we're here on this channel. We don't do that here. We sweep the lows because we work with the smart money. We want to buy the dips, and we want to dollar cost average, and we want to have a healthy portfolio. So that is pretty much it. If I missed out anything important on the channel or on the charts, I do apologize. I'm a bit tired, so I'm a bit wobbly here. So yeah, let me know if I missed out anything on the charts. I'm going to catch you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.